is on camera, but I'm going to
Okay, we're recording now.
I am so happy to be here with
Great.
you.
My pleasure.
And so I write a column called Living in the Land of Make-Believe. And the gist of it is that I've talked to so many people and counseled so many people through situations where they are living in a space because of the expectations of what other people have for them and not particularly how they want to live their lives. A lot of these people are in the spotlight. And so I guess one question I would have for you is how do you, in the position that you're in, continue to sort of stay true to your core, what it is that you believe without sort of taking on the projections of other people?
I think it's a constant struggle. I think you literally are constantly pushing back. And I think sometimes you look up where you are and you're like, I'm off my path. I meant to be over there. Metaphorically and then literally. You march to something and you realize, oh, this isn't exactly what I wanted. I think it's gotten easier as I've become a mom because you stop listening to external voices when you have sort of little people who you're responsible for, right? What they need, what they want is so much more important than everybody else, with the exception of my husband, that I kind of tune out other people if I know something's good for the kids. And that means I will focus on their happiness and my spouse's happiness and not really worry about external voices. But I think when you're young, when you're in your 20s, it's very easy to have everybody weigh in on what they think you should do or what you should be. And part of the process of growing, becoming who you're supposed to be is that navigating that and constantly sort of adjusting to how do I get back on my path.
Sure.
I've always asked myself, certainly in terms of jobs, is this what I want to be doing? Is this what I want to be doing? Does this scare me a little bit? Does it take me to where I want to go? And if the answer is yes, then I tend to do it. If the answer is no, I'm doing this for safety reasons, then I tend not to. And that's always been a very good litmus test for me that I've been able to stick to.
I love that you do that. When did you start doing that and what prompted you to do that? Because I don't think that's something at least from my experience, that people typically do along the journey.
I really started when I was young, in my 20s, when I would have job opportunities. And I was trying to figure out, well, what's the next step? What do I want to do next? And, as long as it felt like I was going to grow, I would take the job. And it was still in that category like this, because most jobs you don't go up, right? Kind of zigzag. And so what I really wanted to figure out was it something that was still kind of in that column of how I'm going to get to what I want to get to, but also was it going to scare me a little? Was it a little too much? Did I bite off too much? Because if you're just going from thing that you do well to thing that you do well to thing that you do well, you're never really going to grow.
That's right.
I think it's that process of being terrified that helps you figure it out.
Yeah. And what about when the sort of parameters that you've set around what you want the vision to be, have those changed along the way, where you do the check-in and you go, oh, wait, I'm off my path, but it's okay, because I kind of like it?
When I started, I would say I was a production assistant, right? So we made $11,000 a year here in Boston. Generous Boston, $11,000 a year. And, all I wanted was something that paid more, so I could pay my rent easily. Then I made $19,000, and I was a writer trainee. Then I made $25,000 and I was a writer. And then I got promoted to $35,000 as an associate producer in local news. And at that point, I just wanted more money. I wanted the next job up, but really just, how much does it pay? Does it pay a little bit more? Is it a step up? But then after that, it started getting weird, right? Because the next job, success isn't really about, is it more money? Success is about, well, am I doing what I really want to do? Am I excited? Am I working with people who I really want to be around? So to me, as I gotten older, and again, when you have a family, that adds to that dynamic. What is success? Is success a primetime show? For me, it's not.
Right.
For me, it's doing documentaries. That might change in a year, 2 years, 5 years. That may never change.
That's right.
What is your version of success? A job where you travel constantly might pay you $1 zillion, but you're never home. That probably isn't a very successful model. So that's consistently, I think, what women especially are always juggling, trying to figure out, what is my definition of success now? And then when you have a kid, then it's different. And then when your kid is going off to school, it's different. And then when your kid's going to college, it's different. I think that's a plus. I think that's a really, makes life interesting.
Excellent. Well, thank you so very much. I'm not going to take up any more
My
of your
pleasure.
time, but thank you so much. This is Monica Koss with Live Your Truth, and I'm here with the lovely Soledad O'Brien.